Ark of the Covenant. One of the most sacred objects among the Israelites. It was a chest made of shittim wood, or acacia, richly decorated, 45 inches long, and 18 inches wide, and contained the 2 tables of stone on which the 10 commandments were engraved, the golden pot that held manna, and Aaron's rod. It was placed in the Holy of Holies, first of the tabernacle, and then of the temple. Such is its Masonic and scriptural history. The idea of this ark was evidently borrowed from the Egyptians, in whose religious rites a similar chest or coffer is to be found. Herodotus mentions several instances. Speaking of the festival of Premis, he says, 263, that the image of the god was kept in a small wooden shrine covered with plates of gold, which shrine was conveyed in a procession of the priests and people from the temple into a second sacred building. Among the sculptures are to be found bas-reliefs of the Ark of Isis. The greatest of the religious ceremonies of the Egyptians was the procession of the shrines mentioned in the Rosetta Stone, and which is often found depicted on the sculptures. These shrines were of 2 kinds, one a canopy, but the other, called the Great Shrine, was an ark or sacred boat. It was borne on the shoulders of priests by means of staves passing through rings in its sides, and was taken into the temple and deposited on a stand. Some of these arks contained, says Wilkinson, notes to Herod. 258 n. 9. The elements of life and stability, and others the sacred beetle of the sun, overshadowed by the wings of 2 figures of the goddess Thmai. In all this we see the type of the Jewish ark. The introduction of the ark into the ceremonies of Freemasonry evidently is in reference to its loss and recovery, and hence its symbolism is to be interpreted as connected with the Masonic idea of loss and recovery, which always alludes to a loss of life and a recovery of immortality. In the first temple of this life the ark is lost. In the second temple of the future life it is recovered. And thus the Ark of the Covenant is one of the many Masonic symbols of the resurrection.